George. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well.
Thank you. Good to be seen.
Just wondering if you could start off just by telling me what you're most excited about for this coming season, and also what you feel like you guys most need to kind of work on to take that next step.
I'm most excited to just be playing basketball, to be honest with you. With everything going on in the world, I think it's a blessing, and that we are able to do our day jobs where most people can't. Going forward, I think the biggest thing is we got to make sure nobody catches this virus, and doing the best that we can to follow the safety protocols to not catch it. That being said, on the court, obviously, when we're allowed to get back to team activities, I'm most excited to just see the guys, and the team camaraderie we have is second to none. So I'm extremely excited about that. I know a lot of us are disappointed with the outcome of last year. So, I think we're motivated to come back to be even better. I think just going forward is just being consistent, consistent with our habits, consistent with everything that we do, consistent in making sure everybody's healthy. Because, there's going to be a couple games where a couple big name guys miss games because they come down with an illness. So I think it's big for us to, be consistent in everyday things that we do and just try to get a little bit better every day.
All right, next question will be from Kristen Kenny, Jazz TV.
Hey, George, good to see you, man, from afar.
Yeah, you too, Kristen.
Hey, so you talked about that camaraderie. Kind of want to build off that because Justin Zanuck was saying how beneficial that's going to be this year, given the uncertainty, keeping that core group together, bringing back Favors. Just from your perspective, how much of a difference maker is that, keeping that familiarity there?
I think it's huge. I think with new teams, it's going to be tough because with the restrictions, how are you really supposed to get to know someone? You're not really allowed to go over, teammates' houses, have group gatherings, different things like that. A lot of us have been together for 2-3 years now. So a lot of us know each other in and out, get along really well. And I think that's the biggest thing that the Utah Jazz value is camaraderie and chemistry. And I think that shows in the way we play and how we treat other people. And like I said earlier, I'm just real excited to get around the guys and compete. I know a lot of us are disappointed with the outcome, and, with the great group of guys that we have, I know we're going to push forward and make great things happen with this season.
Okay, next question, Sarah Todd, Deseret News.
Hey, George. Is it weird sort of planning to play in a season where you're like, yeah, someone's going to get coronavirus?
Yeah, I would say that's pretty weird. Obviously, all of us are following the safety protocols. The NBA has done a great job of, listing things out of what we can and cannot do. And I think all of our guys are taking that pretty seriously. I know Joe has given us all a pep talk on, really locking in and really following the rules, because that's important to him. And if it's important to him, it's important to all of us. I think the biggest thing for us is just safety. I don't want to think negatively and think that, someone's going to catch it. I think if we all do our part, we can avoid catching it. And if we could go through the whole year with nobody catching the coronavirus, that'd be a blessing. And I can only control what I do, and the Jazz organization can only control what the Jazz organization does. And I think that's what we're really just focusing on.
All right, next up will be Ryan Miller, KSL.
Speaking of the coronavirus, what was it like leaving the bubble and entering the real world again? And then were you limited at all in what you could actually do during the off season because of that?
Wow, are you trying to get me in trouble? Leaving the bubble was obviously a bittersweet feeling. Obviously I would have given anything to quarantine another 30 days to play in the finals. But, when I got a chance to see my family and friends the first couple of weeks of the off season, it was amazing. And it felt really good. I hadn't seen my family since March when I was in Boston, because I decided not to go back during the pandemic break, whatever you want to call it. And there were restrictions in the off season. I think the best way to describe it without giving you a 150-page, protocol is just to say that, mask up wherever you work, stay socially distanced, and just try to protect yourself. I think that's what most of the NBA players did. I know the numbers came out yesterday with it was less than 8 or 9% that tested positive coming back into market.
All right, and now we have a question from Ben Anderson, KSL Sports.
Hey, George, with a little bit more of a log jam at the 4 now, what are you doing to get on the floor at the 3 more? What did you work on this offseason? What did the team ask you to do?
What type of question is that? Sure. Well, tell me where you think the log jam is. I'm confused.
Well, Quinn has said that they imagine playing 2 bigs together in the front court, so Derek gets a little bit more of those backup minutes behind Boyan, which are some minutes that you've played too. Then it seems like there's some room at the 3 now to get some extra minutes.
Right. Here's the deal, Ben. My job is to get out there and to keep guys in front of me and make shots. Whether if coach decides to play Derek Favors ahead of me or someone else because of matchups, that's going to be a night in, night out basis. I don't think we look at anything as a log jam. I think we look at it as different guys for different roles or different opportunities with different games. I don't know where the log jam comes from, but I mean, sure. I guess I'm just going to have to make every shot to get more minutes if that's what you're asking. But I don't feel that way. I don't feel any pressure. I honestly am just going out there and doing things to try to help my team win, whether, that's playing minutes at the 3, playing minutes at the 4, or if Fave has more minutes at the 4. As long as we win games, George Niang is a happy camper.
Yeah, I mean, along those lines, were they asking you to slim down at all if you had to play a little bit more on the perimeter or move? I mean, that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, I think George Niang is always trying to slim down, if that's your question. So, what do you think I should improve on? Floor's open.
George, I'm just asking what role you think you have on the team this year.
Like I told you, I just think it's to make shots and play my game. I think nothing really changes. I mean, we're kind of bringing back the same team, so I think me making shots and keeping guys in front of me that's my role.
Thank you.
All right, next question. Andy Larson, Salt Lake Tribune.
Hey, George, just kind of from a team perspective, obviously you guys ended up falling short last year, right? So what are the things that you guys think you can improve on and want to improve on to kind of get to where you're going this season?
Like I said, I just think being consistent. There was a couple games that we felt that we dropped early in the regular season, that kind of could have put us up in top 4 in our conference, in the Western Conference, whether if it was a loss to New Orleans or a loss to San Antonio at home. I think the biggest thing is just being consistent and winning the games, that we feel like we need to win, and not dropping the ones that, we aren't supposed to, just like what happened when we had a 3-1 lead. So I think just being consistent and doing the everyday things to get a little bit better.
Okay, we are done here for today. Thanks so much, George. Always great to see you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Talk soon. Thanks, everyone.